Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming back to Mary's Little House. Oh, it's about 5:03 Central Standard Time. It's already sort of dark outside. The sun is going down out in the west there. I'm so happy to be here at any time, but happy to be here on this mellow fall autumn evening. It's a beautiful season. Uh, oh, at the shrine of Our Lady of the Snows in Belleville, Illinois, they have what they call the Way of Lights, which is a beautiful display of lights depicting the mystery of of Christmas, of the birth of Jesus. And they have life-size statues depicting the Magi, the shepherds, Blessed Mother and Saint Joseph, and the baby Jesus, of course, the star of it all, the star of it all, and they have a big star there too above the grotto. They use the Lourdes grotto for the stable. But anyway, they just put up the three kings. They're coming over the hill and heading down to the grotto, and they look so stately and so noble and so sturdily, steadfastly heading to following the star. We have in our ministry, we have a great devotion to the three magi, and we lamented, Cindy and I, that we didn't have any. We had, of course, cribs, and the cribs have a magi, the three kings, the three wise men. But when we went to Santo Domingo to visit there, we saw that in South America and a lot of Latin countries, they have Epiphany for their big celebration. Like our Christmas, they really celebrate the Epiphany. And of course, the three kings that represent the non-Jewish part of the world, the nations, the Gentiles, are the big thing there. So they have separate kinds of statuary and pictures of the three kings. Well, we thought we don't have any of that. We have it with always associated with the king, with the crib. So one day on the feast of the Epiphany, not going looking for the three kings, but after lamenting that we don't have, because when we went to the gift shops and the things, we saw three kings sets of them, which were too much. We couldn't pay for them. Anyway, in Santo Domingo, in the Dominican Republic, in the Caribbean. So we were just going there after Christmas. It was the Epiphany, the Epiphany of our Lord, January the 6th. We didn't know what we were doing. We always go after Christmas to find bargains so we can put them in our gift baskets. But anyway, we went to the place at Walmart where they have sales, where they have the clearance, the old Christmas merchandise and all the other merchandise they want to clear out, which the prices are slashed by 50%, by half. Well, we went down the aisle, and in the aisle, we almost had to trip over. It was a box, and it was a fireplace screen, and the fireplace screen was the three kings. So on the Feast of the Epiphany, here we have a half price. It was about $40 full price, so about $20 half price. We found these. This is a fireplace screen. I have it up all year long. My son wants me to put it back with the Christmas stuff, but I have a hard time to do that. Anyway, here we are. It's hard to pick up. But anyways, I'll show you. These are the three kings that are in our front room in front of the fireplace. This is a fireplace screen. There they are. They're so mysterious. I get the third one in here. Peanut's on my lap. I wonder what I'm doing here. Peanut, we'll be right. Come on, you three. Okay, there they are. I look at them all the time. Cindy always said to imitate the Magi, the three kings, following the star to Jesus. Our star is the Blessed Mother. She always leads us to Jesus. Here are the three kings. This is our first and now we have many sets of the three kings from all over the world. But this was the first one. This is the first set that when we were lamenting after we went to Santo Domingo and the Dominican Republic, that we didn't have sets of the three kings, or couldn't afford them. God bless you. I'll set them down again. Peanut's wondering why I'm carrying these things here. Hey, Peanut, we'll be fine. Peanut's on my lap. I woke him up. As I started talking, he goes to bed. He goes to sleep. Okay, today on All Is Grace number 13, we continue our treating of purgatory, and here we're going to talk about the last shall be first. And I'll quote from Father Hubert's wonderful article on Saint Teresa the Child Jesus idea of purgatory, and that we don't have to go, and God doesn't want us to go to purgatory. That God gives us all the graces to do our purgatory, to give us the grace of perfect trust, perfect love. Remember, God, we have to love Him 100%. We can not 99 or 85, but 100%. If we don't, we have to make up that in purgatory, because God is just and He deserves all our love from His creatures. Okay, so let me just, the last shall be first. That's the title of this little part that we're treating today. Saint Therese of Lisieux tells us that she heard that sometimes great saints with many merits come before the judgment of God, but have to go to purgatory. These are great saints now, because our justice before God is often unclean. That is why she recommends to give immediately away all the merits of our good deeds, and that it is better to appear before God empty-handed. She recommends to her oldest sister and godmother Marie to be given heaven free of charge. In other words, giving away all the merits. She doesn't rely on the merits. She comes empty-handed. The merits are there. You can't give away the merits. They're already there. But the merits are there, but she's not relying on them. She's giving God the glory, all that. And that's where it should be anyway. And she's giving God all those merits, all those things, and she comes empty-handed. She doesn't rely on all those things, good, wonderful things, on her own merits. Well, on the one hand, the first ones don't always get to heaven first. On the other hand, there are enough examples that the last ones become the first ones. The last ones, like sinners, and and the first ones are usually people living a good life and wonderful, wonderful. Those were the first ones, religious and priests and good lay people. But sometimes they're not the first, and the last ones are the first. That's in the gospel when Jesus said that. Okay, Therese refers in her writings to the Lord's mercy toward the good thief. Hey, there's a good example. He's a very unlikely character to be going to heaven, especially straight to heaven. Remember, we talked about the good thief. That was his last heist. He stole heaven because he loved Jesus. He believed in Him. He loved Him with all his heart. He trusted in Him when he asked, Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And the Lord turned to him and saw that he was completely trusting, completely repentant. He tried to tell his friend over the next cross, on the other side of Jesus, not to condemn him and curse him because he's innocent. He's admitting his sins. We're the ones that we should be up here, but not him. Anyway, so she gives Teresa refers to the good thief. Remember, Jesus said, "This day you shall be with me in paradise." So he didn't have to go to paradise. He went straight up after he died on the cross with Jesus. Okay, because he had perfect love, he had perfect trust. He wasn't relying on all his good merits. He didn't have many, to rely on anyway, but he wasn't. but he did rely on Jesus' trust and Jesus' love and mercy, and Jesus and asked and requested that he be with him in paradise when he come into his kingdom. Okay, I lost my screen for a moment. Okay. And so Teresa continues and wishes that the story from the Desert Fathers about how a great sinner called Paesie died out of love and is being taken up straight to heaven should be added to her autobiography. There's a story in the Desert Fathers that this sinner, notorious sinner, died out of sheer love. The complete love of God. That's perfect love, 100% love. That's the last one to get to heaven. And died out of sheer love, but the last shall be first, and went straight to heaven. The Desert Fathers report that one. I don't know all the story, but Teresa wanted that to be added to her autobiography. And then we quote Teresa here, souls will understand immediately, for it is a striking example of what I'm trying to say. Like Paesie was a notorious sinner, went straight to heaven. And Teresa says, those who are understanding what I'm saying, souls will understand immediately, for it is a striking example of what I'm trying to say. The last shall be first. This awful sinner, notorious sinner, died, went straight to heaven because she died out of love. And so Teresa wanted to add that to her autobiography, the story of a soul. When our great hour comes, as Saint Therese writes to Abbot Roulon, missionary in China, if only we trust, the Blessed Virgin will obtain the grace of making an act of perfect love. Should we have some trace of human weakness, and so will we reach heaven immediately after death. So our trust in God, our trust in our Blessed Mother, who will help us get the grace to love God completely 100% when we die, to trust God completely, not on our own merits and all that kind of thing, and to make up for the lack of love we had with that complete, perfect act of love at the last, that will get us right straight to heaven after our death. Oh, I'm so glad to be with you. Glad to be talking about this. It's so exciting and it's so wonderful. God is so merciful and so good. We could put all our trust in Him. All our trust. I am so grateful to be with you. God bless you now. Keep praying. Some of these things you have to pray over and think about. You don't have to be a rocket scientist or a theologian, but God will give you all the necessary lights, understanding, and the necessary love to respond to the graces that He has for you here and now. All is grace here and now. God bless you.